Hello, welcome back to Nostalgia Drive. This is episode 17 of my Sayonara playthrough. So the last time we ended off with Koji phoning Fuminori, which as a result made the ending of Koji dying and Saya was taking over the planet, so we discovered that she's actually like an alien. But today we're going to try and get a different ending, and we're going to see what happens when Koji calls Ryoko, because I'm quite curious to see what would happen. Because I feel like the story will probably deviate like quite differently like with this choice. We just need to see though. The ringing of her cell phone interrupts Roko's labours. When she sees that the caller is Tono Koji, she unwittingly breathes a sigh of relief. Even over the phone, Ryoko can hear the change in Koji's tone. His is the dull, flat voice of someone who has had all his energy beaten out of him. It's the fact Koji has to see like eating bodies though, it's horrible. His first steps into Ryoko's world has already brought him face to face with something particularly gruesome. In consideration of his probable state of mind, she decides to say nothing. Yeah, this is definitely a better choice for Koji, because not phoning Fuminori doesn't let Fuminori aware of where he is. Ryoko says praising Koji in her own way. Whenever he is confronted or not is up to him. With her understanding of Saya deepening by the hour, Ryoko is able to make this declaration with new confidence. That's the thing is, if Ryoko will know more about Saya than Koji though. Koji's actions were rash, but there's no point regretting them now. The more proactive approach would be to use the pressure that he's placed on Fuminori. Ryoko's involvement is still a secret. That makes her a wild card. Depending on how she plays it, this advantage could be decisive. Yeah, because Ryoko, like an extra person to fight, would be really useful in this situation. Ryoko answers, glancing sidelong at the loose leaf pages still scattered across the table. The lack of emotion in Koji's voice is actually reassuring to Ryuko's. He's a machine now, able to do whatever it takes to accomplish a single goal, the extermination of the Sakisaka Fuminori. He is even willing to accept help from Ryoko, whose principles hardly mesh with his, a praiseworthy change indeed. After Ryoko hangs up, she gloomily counts a stack of loose leaf that still need to be restored. There's no time left. She's only able to get the general picture. If she has to go into battle with only a fragmentary knowledge, then there's one thing that she can absolutely must decipher: Ogai's biological reports, which should contain information on the strengths and weaknesses of the organism called Saya. Yeah, because I wonder if Saya does have any weaknesses. I don't know, but and I remember that she was saying that she could regenerate like really quickly, but we still don't really even know if she's got like any sort of weaknesses at all. All she can do now is pray for luck as she dives back into the mountains of papers. So we're back to Koji. No, not Koji, Fuminori's. I think we've read this bit, I think. Today was the first day of driving, accident late summer. It's always dangerous to consider, given my own about. Yeah, we have. So see what I'll probably do is I'll cut ahead just to like a section we've not been at yet, but I think majority of this we've read because it's highlighted over, but I remember reading this. Ah, right, so this is different back here. Yes, this is different because Fuminori doesn't have a clue with Koji now because he's not received a phone call. I don't know, he'll call sooner or later, and then I'll lure him here and finish him. Koji will come. I know that he won't leave us alone. We could keep running now that we've started, but I want to eliminate Koji as soon as possible. Therefore, when he contacts me, I tend to meet with him unless it's an obvious trap. Right, so this is the same part again, so I'm just going to skip ahead again here. Right, oh, this is completely new now. Where is this? I don't know if this is at maybe like Koji's house or something maybe. I'm not sure, it's the only thing that makes sense. The hands of his watch move with agonising slowness as though counting down to the end of the world. In the hour since contacting Ryoko, Koji went back to his apartment, so it is Koji's apartment, showered, changed clothes and even had his first full meal in days. He wanted to take a nap, knowing that he needed the rest, but no matter how hard he tried, sleep never came. Forcing himself to relax only made his nerves colder and sharper. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to relax if you've seen like all that stuff in that like single day though. With nothing else to do, he decides to wander the city until nightfall. Downtown Tokyo is bustling, surrounded by smiling pedestrians, bright lights and windows decorated early for Christmas. He feels as if all of this happiness in this world has been gathered in this very place. Koji takes it all in, burning it into his memory like it's the first. Burning it into his memory like it's the last thing he'll ever see. Is the world so beautiful because of the horrors that lurk in its shadows? The glow of the city can no longer warm him. Perhaps that is why it seems so precious. Koji watches the city for hours. It feels unreachably distant, like reading the obituary of someone you loved long ago. It's actually quite a cool like city, Tokyo though, in this picture. His phone rings at 8 PM, it's Ryoko. Their conversation is short. She hangs up as soon as they decide where to meet. And so ends Tono Koji's final night of peace. Ryoko agrees at the dinner at 1 AM, 1 hour later than agreed upon. She has a heavy-looking duffel bag under her arm. Koji doesn't feel like asking what the bulges represent. Was that guns? Ryoko doesn't sound at all apologetic, but Koji decides to just nod emotionlessly. Only a few tables are filled at this hour, like lonely islands in the mist of the vast restaurant. After sending the beery-eyed waitress away with an order for 2 coffees, Koji and Ryoko are all left alone in the corner of the dining area. Koji asks bluntly while sipping doubtfully from his third cup of watery, tasteless coffee. Yeah, there's quite a lot of research she has to go through, guys, to really understand science. Yeah, Fuminori's going to start panicking because he doesn't know what's happening to Koji. In the silence that follows, Koji tries to soothe his parched throat with another mouthful of weak coffee. It's obvious that her grimace isn't for the
今なら
coffee.
田んぼ先生はもう答えを知ってるんですよ。鞘というのが何なのか。
Ryoko tries to ignore Koji's question by nursing her coffee, but that only works until the cup is empty. Staring at the brown stain at the bottom of her cup, Ryoko says, her voice hard and flat.
君は私の忠告を無視した愚か者なわけだが、もう一度だけ証拠りもなく言わせてほしい。殿君、君は手を引いて全てを忘れるべきだ。
She's still telling him to forget
証
everything.
拠りもないですね。
Koji replies, smiling bitterly instead of glaring at her like he did
俺が
before.
まだ先生や文則とは境界線を挟んだ反対側にいるとでも。
Yeah, Koji knows too much. Koji knows Fuminori's eating bodies and help people.
君は
He
まだ
knows.
一番致命的なものまでは見ていない。君にとってこの事件は無二の親友がいきなり正気を失ってに目覚めたっていう、ただそれだけの内容なんだろ。
Yeah, he doesn't really know about Saya at all. That's all. The things that Fuminori have done are so horrifying that Koji's only recourse, his only hope of coping, is to kill the man who was once his friend. Yet despite that, Ryoko makes this nightmare sound like just the beginning. Koji still doesn't understand where his morbid cynicism comes from, nor does he want to.
それだけじゃないとしたら、残りは先生の妄想なんじゃないですか。
そう思えるならまだ君の傷は浅いってことさ。
Her British tone says that she doesn't care whenever or not Koji is satisfied with her
今ならま
explanation.
だ時間が君の傷を癒してくれるだろう。君は最後の一線を踏み越えていない。
What is Roko experience? I really want to know. Koji considers Roko's words calmly, without letting herself get emotional like before. The final line, true, Fuminori is somewhere beyond that. Although Koji has gone far enough to be willing to kill Fuminori, he has no intention of eating his enemy's flesh once he's dead. That at least still separates the two. Then what about Ryoko, who has treated Koji like an arrogant fool ever since she saved him from the well? How close is she to Fuminori?
先生の傷は俺よりも深いと。
In response to Koji's biting question, Ryoko mocking smile turns
こ
inwards.
の銃はね、実家の父のものなんだ。
Father's. Ryoko pats down one of her duffel bag's bulges.
こいつがロッカーから消えたせいで、父は責任を問われて地元の猟友会から除名させられた。
Was to kill her father? Yeah, his hunting club kicked him out when it disappeared from his locker.
申し訳ないと思ってるよ。私は両親にとっては自慢の娘なんだ。それが金庫の銃を盗み出すなんて想
Oh
像
no,
も
she
して
took
ない
her.
だ。
Alright.
そうするだけの必要が。
いいや、全然。
Her quick denial isn't what Koji was
その
expecting.
頃にはもう王外のことは一見落着していた。少なくとも私はそう思っていた。奴は姿を消したきり、もう二度と私の前には現れないだろうと安心してた。この銃で何かを撃とうとか殺そうとか
じゃあなぜ。
眠れなかったんだよ。ただそれだけ。
Ryoko pauses, perhaps taking time to decide how best to explain.
それまではベッドサイドにナタを隠しておいたんだ。夜一人で部屋にいるのが耐えられなくてね。
Machete next to bed.
どんなに世界が底抜けにめちゃくちゃになっていこうと、悲鳴を上げて逃げ回る以外の選択肢が自分にはあるんだって。
What kind of life is Ryoko
そう
lived?
納得させるためにはね、部屋の中に何か一つ頼りになる武器を置いておきたかった。
Has she been tracking Ogai this whole time? Has Ogai done other things? He must have. Koji doesn't know what to say. He's amazed, impressed, even that someone with such a serious case of delusional paranoia could function as one of the T University's top doctors.
でもそれじゃ大した効き目はなかった。 悪夢は日ごとにひどくなっていく一方で、安眠するにはナタじゃまだ足りなかったんだ。それで父の銃を盗んできた。こんな風に重心を詰めるとね、散弾がもっと広範囲に飛び散るようになって殺傷力が増すんだそうだ。
No, it is a theory, and I'm wondering if she has the same vision as Fuminori, but I don't know, it doesn't make sense, so.
アメリカでも重罪になる改造なんだとさ。私はそれをクローゼットの奥に突っ込んで、それでようやく眠れるようになったよ。
Nah, I don't think it
3日に
makes
一晩
sense,
ぐらい
so.
はね。
Because Roko does seem like quite broken as well, to be honest. At this point, Roko seems to have gotten everything off her chest. Smiling like someone who's just finished a hard job, she adds,
銃はいいよ、本当に。
That's face though,
相
she's
手に
showing
向かっ
that.
てぶっ放すもよし、それでダメなら自分の口に突っ込んで引き金を引くっていう選択肢もある。
先生は専門家の治療を受けるべ
Do
き
we
で
need
す。
help her?
端的な感想ありがとう。でもね、君だって他人事じゃなくなるよ。これ以上先に進むんならね。
Yeah, if Koji does dive further into this world, he's going to be just as broken. Koji's already doubtful that meeting with Ryoko was the right thing to do. The one thing that he and Ryoko have in common is an unwillingness to leave Fuminori to the proper authorities. Fuminori not only killed Koji's lover and friend, but even went so far as to defile their courts. Koji isn't about to give him the chance to get off in an insanity plea. No matter what crimes he must commit, Koji will end Fuminori with his own two hands. If he doesn't, he knows that he will never sleep again. It helps to have a partner in crime, but only when the partner doesn't cause trouble. Ryoko talks big about exposing Ogai's secrets, but she might just have had a head full of delusions. If so, Koji needs to rethink
こ
this
の
whole
先
thing.
全てを先生に任せるというのなら、先生のこと信用させてください。先生をそこまで追い詰めるほどのものがオーガイっていう男にあったという証拠を、彼が何をしでかしたのか全て俺に見せてください。
Yeah, she's not explaining anything.
そこまで言うかね、まったく。
Ryoko smirks and shakes her head ruefully, but puts up no further resistance. She pulls a stack of paper from her bag and hands it to Koji. The loose leaf sheets are bound with
一
string.
行読んだら続きは次のページの同じ行だ。まあ触りだけでも読んでみるといい。
As directed, Koji looks through the handwritten pages and gives up after less than 3
怪奇
minutes.
SF の走行か何かですか。罪のない悪ふざけですね。彼にはこんな子供っぽい趣味があったわけだ。
Koji deliberately scoffs at the document, doing everything he can do to show contempt from what he has just read. At the same time, he tries desperately not to remember the mountain of bones in Ogai's bathtub and the unidentifiable smell permeating Fuminori's house.
1年前、オーガイがうちの大学に持ってきた資料も、その文章と同じぐらい突拍子もないものだった。
Ryoko says, coldly ignoring Koji's disdain.
奴は大学の機材を無断で使って、こっそり検査をしようとしたらしい。だが、ドジを踏んで露見した。そこから先はもう大騒ぎでね。オーガイが使おうとした機材から察するに、奴はそいつを P3 レベルのバイオハザードとして取り扱うつも
Why
り
is
だったらしい。
P3 level by
その程度の用心で十分だったのかどうかも知れたもんじゃないんだ。近隣の住民を退去させるべきだったんだが、まあそこは偉い人たちが偉い人なりに頑張って全部なかったことにしてくれ
I
た
wonder
よ。
whether they're trying to cover it
その
up
代わり
though.
私たちはキャンバス中のネズミを一匹残らず駆除する羽目になった。ネズミとかつてネズミだった何かをね。
Right, so don't tell me they've assassinated people that have known about this. I have no idea, to be honest. At the first meeting, Ryoko brushed Koji off when he asked about Ogai Masahiko. Now, however, she's telling the whole story. Her voice is flat and as emotionless as a
事の
machine's.
究明には結局皆が匙を投げた。オーガイが持ち込んだ資料がどういう起源のものなのか誰にも突き止めることはできなかった。まあ結局みんな賢明だったわけだ。理性は理性、ざれ言はざれ言。そういう線引きを危うくしないで済む程度ってもんを心得ていた。でもあいにく当時の私はそこまで賢明じゃなかった。
I feel like she looks really evil, Ryoko, when she's doing that grin, though, man. Ryoko pauses for a moment, then grins with self-disdain, so maniacal that it strikes Koji
あ
like
れ
a
これ
blow.
探って暴き出して私はオーガイが何をしていたのか知った。彼が関わっていた連中や彼をそそのかした連中も突き止めた。ナタと添い寝するようになったのはその頃から。
Oh my god.
この世の理性ってものがどんなにタガの緩んだ穴だらけの頼りない代物なのか理解するようになったのは。
So that's why she slept with a machete then. As though fleeing from the quiet insanity that keeps glimpsing in Ryoko, Koji finds himself paging through the loose leaf in his hands. He reads a line at random. The organism's flesh is not fibrous, but reticulated. But put simply, it is an extremely tough substance that expands and contracts not in one direction, but in all directions. This means that slashing or piercing damage has very little effect. So even if like Koji Naruto was hitting Sai with a pipe, it would have done nothing then. Since the flesh can contract in any direction freely, any wound will be sealed instantly. How do you fight that then? It's nonsense, what else can it be? If he lets himself believe it, then everything else, all the logical rules that define the world, will be rendered meaningless.
先生は信じるんですね。
疑う理由なんてとっくの昔に見失ったからね。
Ryoko reaches into her duffel bag again, this time removing a stainless steel thermostat that looks able to hold about 500 ccs of liquid.
こいつが鞘を倒す切り札だ。調達するのに手間取ったが、多分こいつは敵面に効く。
What is the liquid? Is it like, it's not a flamethrower, is it?
ついていけません。
Koji snaps, no longer able to disguise his
サヤが
frustration.
何だろうともうどうでもいいです。俺は文則を終わらせることができればそれでいい。
そうか。
Now that she's given up on persuading him, her ascendant is swift and cold. At this moment, Koji's fate has likely ceased to
い
matter
い
to
だ
her.
ろう。君は先坂文則を仕留めるために全力を尽くすといい。君の邪魔はしないし、君が仕損じた時にはきっちりと私が帳尻を合わ
Oh
せ
my
てやる。
god. I wonder if Koji's still gonna die then. I don't know. Despite the determination in her voice, Koji can't bring himself to trust this paranoid doctor
あなたの
completely.
持ち合わせている理由で文則を殺せるんですか？
Yeah, he doesn't have a reason, I don't think.
潔癖症なんだよ、私は。ああやって人の世界の拉致外に隠れ住んでいるような奴らが我慢ならない。奴らは寝室のゴキブリだ。枕元でカサコソ這い回る音を無視して眠れる。
Cockroach man.
見つけ次第殺して駆逐する。そうせずにはいられない。私の精神衛生上の問題だ。
There's more out of just her like mental like safety, I think. Her reasons are similar to Koji's own. He doesn't want to bring a murderer to justice, nor does he want revenge for Ominyo. If he did, he could have left everything to the police. The reason he can is that the villain is Fuminori. The man he believed was his friend has turned his whole world upside down. Everything and everyone with a part in this madness is to blame, and that includes himself with allowing the betrayal. His self-loathing, his desire to destroy, is what's keeping him on his feet.
それじゃあチェックメイトに駒を進めよう。先坂君を呼び出すといい。
Oh, he's calling him now. Koji nods, pulls out his cell phone and calls his friend for what will probably be the last time. The call goes through quickly. Fuminori must have been waiting
待
for
たせ
it.
たな、文則。こっちの準備は整った。
コウジ、今どこにいる？
Fuminori must have been quite anxious to hear from Koji. His voice is hard and completely
お
emotionless.
前のすぐ背後。
Just right behind you. Koji can't help but smile at Fuminori's disappointment. Perhaps Ryoko's maniacal sadism has rubbed off on him.
筑波を解放する決心はついたのか？
ああ、背に腹は変えられない。
He's lying. Koji thinks remembering the contents of Fuminori's refrigerator. Just what part of Yoda did you eat? Did you carve that poor girl up like a pig?
お前は集めた資料のすべてを証拠ともども持ってこい。その内容を見て納得できたら、僕らは用を引き渡す。
いいだろう。場所は？
まずは応戦の Y 駅まで来い。そこでお前が一人なのを確認してから、詳しい場所を教える。
念の言った話だな。
妙な細工はなしだ。45分以内に来い。
45 minutes. Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response.
俺が単独なのを確認するまで居場所は教えないつもりみたいです。
ただの偉大生にしちゃ心得てるな。感心だ。
Yeah, it's probably the smartest thing for Fuminori to do. Yoko's praise sounds serious, drawing a glare from
私の
Koji.
車はここに置いていこう。トノ君、君の車のトランクに人一人が入る隙間はあるかい？
Oh my god.
正気ですか？映画の見過ぎですよ。
そんじょそこいらの映画よりは危険な冒険なんだよ、これは。
With those bold words, Ryoko grabs her duffel bag and rises from her seat.
で、この店を待ち合わせに選んだのは君だったな。
そうですが。
コーヒーの責任を取れ。
He's actually having to pay for the check. So yeah, this is completely different from the other route then. Even after Koji arrives at the Y station as directed, Fuminori calls him and makes him change location 3 more times. Koji is beginning to doubt that Fuminori is watching. He might just be using the time to guess when Koji arrives at each designated location. Nevertheless, Koji can't let his guard down. Fuminori might choose any moment to make sure that he's alone. If he makes a mistake and puts Fuminori on alert, Ryoko will lose her chance to take him by surprise. She'll just have to put up with the cramped trunk for a little while longer. After the nature preserve and the dry riverbed, the fourth location to which Fuminori sends Koji is in the thick forest at the top foothills, high above the developed area at their base. But I think it is the same house as the other part, it's just given a bit more explanation, this I think. His car GPS shows a road that leads nowhere, but according to Fuminori, there is an old abandoned sanctuary there. The park and river were empty this late at night, but during the day would likely have considerable traffic. This time, however, his instinct is telling him that it's definitely a place that no one could find, not even by accident. It looks like this is the final stop. Koji drives up the steep incline, soon leaving the residential neighbourhood behind. Even though the hands of progress are right as it is doorstep, the underdeveloped forest is darker than expected. It looks like a great place to live in secret or to kill someone and hide the body. Places like this, lost and forgotten, aren't found only in the deep jungles and hidden valleys. Holes in the world are everywhere, even in the midst of civilization. Oh, so we must have not read this bit. I thought we did read that bit earlier, but this bit is we've read because the text does not look highlighted. So I'll see if I can skip to the next part. I'm assuming it'll not be far off, I think. Right, so this is a different bit now. Realising that the interior roof light will stay on and broadcast that the trunk isn't closed, Koji quickly unscrews the bulb, then gets out of the car and deliberately slams the driver's side door hard. Right, so we've read this bit now. We'll see what the next bit is then. Oh, this is different. Glancing sidelong at the rear of his car, Koji sees no movement inside. The barely open trunk. Ryoko knows what she's doing. She's probably waiting until Fuminori's attention is focused on Koji before making her move. So this sort of is like very similar, it's just the only difference is Roko's coming this time. When he reaches the gaping, doorless entrance to the building, Koji glances back at the way he came. His car parked at the gate is hidden behind the mountains of trash. Even if Fuminori is watching from inside the sanctuary, he shouldn't be able to see Ryoko crawl out of the trunk. It looks like she'll get her chance to take him by surprise. Right, all this is red, I'll just skip ahead now. Alright, this is new. The organism's flesh freely expands in a manner rendering piercing damage meaningless. So that must be old guy's like record. Koji grits his teeth and forces the madman's words out of his head. What good could come of taking them seriously? This isn't the time for such uselessness. Oh, we're at this bit again, this is horrible. Right, I'm just gonna skip a bit. This is new. Roko's voice plays back in his head, and at last he knows how merciless his warning was. Now that his eyes are as open as hearts, he is able to laugh in contempt of his own foolishness. So he still ends up killing Yo, I think. Looks of it. Yeah, they're still going to get in a fight here, I think. I'm going to see if I'm assuming Roko coming at any point. Oh, it's new now. Koji is certain that this is the end, but it's just as his vision begins to dim, an explosion behind him takes back the sense. Oh my god. This must be Roko then. With a horrifying, inhumane scream, the creature releases Koji, retracts his tentacles. Oh god, this music again is so cool, man. So the last time Koji died because he couldn't stop Saya, but I'm assuming Roko's jumped in now to shoot Saya. The first thing he sees after regaining his mobility, Roko is running down the hall with a smoking shotgun in one hand and a silver tube in the other. Roko responds by tossing him the tube. Though still lying on the floor, he manages to snatch it out of the air. It's a thermos she showed him at the restaurant, the one she called her secret weapon. Ryoko shouts to Koji. At the same time, she aims her gun at Fuminori, who's still on his knees 5 paces away. The double-barrel shotgun still has one shot loaded. The monster attacked Koji is withering in agony. It hasn't yet recovered from Roko's shot. But he's already seen the bullets aren't enough to kill this creature. Now is his only chance. Fuminori's sort of not happy at all. Fuminori growls, gritting his teeth against the part of his broken ribs. Forcing himself to be calm, Koji stands and carefully unscrews the lid of the thermos. There is no question in his mind that something extremely potent is inside. As soon as it's unsealed, a thick white mist, I wonder what it is, pours out of the thermos, and the surrounding air turns freezing cold. Oh wait, is it going to freeze on? Instantly guessing what's inside, Koji lobs the thermos at the pile of flesh compulsion in the floor. The thermos sails through the air, spewing white fog and like a blastical font showers its liquids containing upon the hellish creature. Oh my god, the noise, oh man. Its scream this time is uncomparable to before. The monster thrashes in agony, wrenched in white smoke. Its screams are joined by Roko's cackling. Oh, she's actually laughing, man. Alright. Oh my god, Roko's face though. She's so psychotic looking. She's more psychotic looking than Fuminori. Perhaps the joy of vanishing her nightmares were worth the last remaining remnants of her sanity. The maniac gleam blazing in her eyes can belong only to a shattered mind. He's so angry, Fuminori. Fuminori's not going to be able to do anything here or now though. Fuminori staggers to his feet, roaring black curses. His rage seems to have drowned out the pain of his broken bones. Ryoko's not one to underestimate the threat posed by his axe. Her mad laughter fades away, leaving only a cold smile as she pulls the trigger. With a short burst of dark flame, Ryoko's gun splutters and dies. That's no working. Roko is not an expert in firearms. It's never occurred to her that shotgun shells need proper storage. And besides, she only expected that any situation where her gun would be necessary would also be that she would not survive. Cursing in anger and dismay, Ryoko breaks the shotgun open and awkwardly pulls the dud out. Meanwhile, Fuminori stalks towards her like a vengeful demon, the head of his axe screeching as he drags it along the floor. I have to stop him. Koji tries to charge Fuminori but only succeeds at sending himself sprawling. One of his shoes stuck in the floor, frozen by the liquid nitrogen. Oh, it's nitrogen, right. As Ryoko fumbles in her pocket for a new shell, Fuminori closes the distance and raises his axe in both hands. Koji curses and rips his shoe free of the frozen concrete, but he knows that he'll never make it in time. Ryoko thrusts a new shell into the chamber of her shotgun and snaps it closed, then looks up to find her target. Fuminori is right before her, too close to evade, and his axe is already crashing down with the wind howling in its wake. The sounds of bones shattering, tendon snapping and flesh tearing blend together in a foul harmony. Oh, she did get hit by it. The thick blade enters through Ryoko's left shoulder, ploughing through her collarbone and shoulder blade, smashing several ribs and popping her lung like a balloon before stopping in the centre of her chest. Her expression frozen in the shock by the impact, she sprays Geezer from blood of her mouth. She should have died instantly, but through some unimaginable force of will, Ryoko clings to life for a few seconds more. Grinning through blood-stained lips, she raises her shotgun. Oh my god, what a face! Not to the front, but to the side. Beyond the barrel for a gun, wearing the 77-degree Kelvin mist, like a white cloak of death, is the weakly wriggling Saya. There's no way Fuminori's getting out of this alive. Fuminori's scream vanishes into the roar of the shotgun. Like, there's no way he's surviving a shotgun shot. The destruction is absolute. The impact of the shotgun pellets obliterates the half of Saya's body that fell prey to the liquid nitrogen. Oh right, she's killing Saya. Saya is a better choice to kill because Saya is stronger than Fuminori. The frozen particles of Saya's shattered flesh drift to the floor like snow. Even the creature's special biology is insufficient to seal a wound of this size. From the opening pore, its internal organs, a tide of liquid slime and fat, whose colour is far too foul to belong to any living creature. The monster convulses, wailing in a weak, pitiful voice.
Saya.
Is Saya dead? She must be. With his axe still buried in Ryoko's body, Fuminori stares at the dying creature, his expression utterly devoid of emotion. Koji grabs his pipe and prepares to attack Fuminori from behind, but freezes when he sees the emptiness on the face of a man he hated. Fuminori pulls his axe out of Ryoko's corpse, then looks at Koji with glazed eyes. There is no recognition in them, nor hate nor rage. When Koji meets Fuminori's blank stare, he knows there is nothing left in him to kill. Fuminori grips the axe closer to his head and raises it high. He's not going to kill himself, is he? The blade towards his face. Oh yes? Koji doesn't know whenever he should interfere, but even if he wanted to, what could he do to stop Fuminori? Fuminori pulls his head back slowly, and drives his face into the blade of the axe like a spring-loaded toy. Ah, my god. Crunch, his skill carves in with a dull, wet sound, and the spray of blood catches Koji in the face. Despite Fuminori's utter lack of hesitation, his first attempt at suicide succeeds only in transforming his face into a hash of crimson. Yeah, because I remember back like ages ago in this story that Fuminori would have committed suicide if Saya wasn't there. I was seeing this stuff. Fuminori pulls his head back one more time, even slower than before. Then with every ounce of strength still left in the body, he slams it into his blood-stained axe. Ah, the sound is wetter than before. Fuminori's body goes limp, then tumbles face first to the floor. Koji stares at the two mangled corpse for a while. He feels completely left behind, like he can't remember why he's standing in the place with a steel pipe in his hand. The stale air filling the ruined building becomes choked with the stench of blood, and the crimson puddles gradually spread across the snow-covered floor. Yet the tranquility of the scene makes it seem like a painting. Wait, is Sai still alive? A soft, slimy sound breaks the silence. Koji looks at the mortally wounded monster. The creature is on death's door, but even so it moves. Slowly, feebly, it drags its broken body through the sea of blood. It's coming for Fuminori. Koji's forgotten his anger, but now it comes surging back at full force. Yeah, he needs to kill it. He needs to kill Saya. Growls and stabs the monster with the end of his pipe. It convulses in agony but keeps crawling towards Fuminori. Koji explodes in a frenzy of rage. Oh my god, man. Again and again he smashes the helpless flesh beast with his pipe. Something tells him that if he does not stop here, he will truly have lost. The monster, however, never succumbs. It struggles on beneath his blows until finally it reaches Fuminori's corpse. Koji keeps swinging, his fury unabated, even as his tears start to pool in his eyes. The monster's slime flies through the air, joining with the blood already covering his face. The creature extends one trembling tentacle to touch Fuminori's shoulder, then lovingly caresses his bloodstained cheek. And then it stops moving. Even in his final moments, the monster would not let Fuminori go. It died joined with him. At last, Koji knows that the world he loved is gone forever. That's some way to end it, man. I don't think Roko's gonna die. What is this? What do you mean, Omi? Says enthusiastically, the exposed bones of her face clattering. Why don't we go somewhere we can skate for the year's next trip? I'm so confused. Is he dreaming something for Minori? Chunks of her body are missing, as though someone's been nibbling on her. It makes her look a lot thinner. She's been worried about her weight recently, but now she shouldn't need to diet. Fuminori must be dreaming or something. Oh, Jesus Christ. He sounds amused, but it's hard to tell from the expression since his face has been cleaved in by through an axe. What kind of dream is this? That's really messed up. Omi and Yo laugh at Fuminori's dumb joke. Yo never used to laugh with such ruminance. She seems truly happy now that she and Fuminori are officially together. I'm so confused here. Is like Fuminori survived this or like... Something's wrong. Well, Koji can't put his finger on what?
私も見てみたいな。大見ちゃんが食べられるところ。
The only thing I can think of is maybe this is like Koji's perspective, but like Saya's like messed up his brain maybe. I don't know though. When he sees Yo's infectious smile, Koji finally realizes what's bothering him.
つくば、
どうしたの？
お前だけなんで普通なんだ？
He tilts his head quizzically, like she doesn't understand what he means.
私はいつも普通だけど。
でもお前、確かあの時。
ああ、うんうん。
Yo nods in
なんだ、
understanding.
私がコウジ君と違う姿になってた頃のこと？ずいぶん昔の話じゃない。
昔。
そうだよ。
She replies, deflecting Koji's confusion with that uncannily cheerful
だ
smile.
ってコウジ君も今じゃ私たちの仲間じゃない。
ああ。
Of course. Koji looks down and satisfied to see wriggling tentacles where his arms and legs should be. When he opens his eyes, his mattress and pillow are soaked in sweat. It's a nightmare. It's always the same nightmare. He doesn't know how many times he had it, but at least he's not leaping out of bed screaming anymore. He sits up, clutching his throbbing head. It's 4 in the morning. He hasn't nearly enough rest, but he probably won't be able to get back to sleep tonight. Time for a smoke. A full pack will last him until dawn. Now, where did he put the pack he bought yesterday? Koji wanders sleepily into the den, where yet another old friend is waiting for
ひ
him.
どいありさまだね。まったく。
But did Roko survive?
先生、
Well, she must have then.
いたんですか？
What? Roko's chopped up corpse is sitting at his dining table, looking as deathly pale as ever as she sits
毎
from a
晩ずいぶん
clock.
と辛そうじゃないか。ろくに眠れてないんだろ？
そうでもないですよ。薬を飲めば割となんとかなります。まだ。
But he's having hallucinations as well. Hallucinations like these are easier to deal with than elaborate nightmares like the one he just had. They should probably worry him more
あの
though.
時私の忠告を聞き入れてれば、ここまで追い詰められることなんてなかっただろうに。
もうやめましょうよ、それは。過ぎたことじゃないですか。
This is really horrible outcome for Koji though. Because if Koji just ran away though, he probably wouldn't be in this mental state, but then he wouldn't ever know. Yoko chuckles, smiling the same cruel maniac smile that she used to when she was alive. Her left arm hangs from her half-severed shoulder, dangling like a forgotten wind chime.
結構折り合いをつけてるんだ。
先生だってそうだったんでしょう。普段は優秀な脳外科医で通用してたんだから。
上辺だけ取り繕うだけなら、そんなに難しいことじゃないからね。
The corpse shrugs her intact right shoulder and grimaces in disgust as she takes another sip of her
でも
coffee.
ね、多分この先はもっと悪くなるよ。心の傷は時間が癒してくれるけど、君はまあ言ってみれば毒に感染したようなものだから。
She's probably right. Everyone dreams at night, no matter how dim the memories may get, the nightmares will always be there to tear into Koji's fresh fangs. The insanity that's taken root in his heart will grow, eventually consuming everything that's
俺
left
の場
inside of
合、
him.
先生っていう前例を見て学んでますからね。抜かりはありませんよ。
へえ、そうなの。
Koji nods, smiling confidently, and stands and walks to the bathroom where he retrieves the weapon that he keeps hidden behind the mirror. Wogai's revolver, the one souvenir that Koji brought back from the other world
も
that
のす
night.
ごい苦労したんですけど、結局ようやくその筋の人と渡りをつけましてね。弾も買ってあります。驚きましたよ。銃そのものより高いなんて。
おやおや。
In the mirror, Koji sees Ryoko with her axe-inflected gash. She raises her mug in a toast to Koji's resourcefulness.
何発買ったわけ？
一発だけです。
This time it's Koji who shrugs his shoulder. He uses both, exercising his privilege as a
それ以上
survivor.
必要になるような状況は俺は願い下げなんで。
The corpse in the mirror nods sagely, her smile approving.
わきまえてるんだね、トノオ君。
There is a brief silence. Koji doesn't really feel like getting all melodical with a dead woman.
ねえ先生、いい加減ファミレスのコーヒーはやめましょうよ。なんなら新しいの入れますから。
When Koji turns around halfway through his sentence, he realizes that the room is empty but for the silence of the night. And so Koji returns to the world of the sane. He lights his first cigarette of the night and takes a deep drag. While sitting alone in his den, puffing on his smoke, he stares at the gun in his hand. He knows just how precarious a cliff he's standing on. No, I don't say Koji's going to commit suicide, I really hope not. The final line of which Roko spoke is now one step behind him. Koji no longer has anything to protect his soul. Now that Ogai Masahiko's fantasies and Tambo Roko's delusions have all become tangible for us, he knows what insanity and despair truly are. But in the real world, Sakisaka Fuminori is wanted for several gruesome murders. It didn't take long for someone to discover the stockpiles of human meat in the empty Sakisaka and Suzumi's house. In the two refrigerators were found the remains of Suzumi Yosuke, his wife and daughter, and Takahata Omi. They found the clothes and other effects of Tsukuba Yo, but were unable to locate any traces of her among the various body parts, a fact that made Koji's nightmares all the more vivid. Dr. Tambo Ryuko of the T University vanished mysteriously around the same time, but she was Fuminori's chief physician. The police has been investigating her connection to his crimes. As for the two corpses secretly buried in the backyard of a certain ruin, well, they'll probably never be found, and this incident will become just another cold case. Koji alone knows what really happened and has no intention of revealing it. Not now and not ever. Ogai's writings were not nonsense, which means that everything else was. What fool was it who said that the men are the lords of creation? Those who can believe in patriarchy, things like human wisdom and valor, are those lucky innocents who have not looked into the abyss. Koji can no longer share in their blissed arrogance. He knows he's been defiled by the insanity called truth, and he will never believe again. If he has been poisoned, as Roko's ghost said, then the poison is none other than the truth itself. Just as pure oxygen is harmful to the body, the naked truth has the power to destroy men's minds. Only by deluding it with lies and taking it in small doses can humans maintain a healthy soul.
どんなに世界が底抜けにめちゃくちゃになっていこうと。
Once words spoken by the living Tambo Roko passed through Koji's
悲鳴
mind.
を上げて逃げ回る以外の選択肢が自分にはある。
That without a doubt was the comfort that she kept hidden on her bosom, the only thing that allowed her to face her dreams each night. Koji's taken his predecessors' lessons to heart. He's prepared for anything. One bullet is always behind the bathroom mirror, promising him salvation. Was that the ending? God, man. I don't think there's any other routes. I think we've done everything. This is like the full ending. So it's horrible because I don't even feel like a lot of the endings are not even good. None of them seem to be actually good endings at all. I thought there might have been a happy ending, but there doesn't seem to be any happy endings. Because we literally had the ending of Fuminori getting put in like a jail basically for like psychotic people, and then we had Koji dies, but then basically Sai takes over the whole planet, and then Roku ends up dying, Fuminori and Saya, but Koji survives with like mental like issues. But I'll have a check. I don't know if there's anything else like past the credits, but we'll just have to see. I don't know if there is anything, but we'll just need to see if there's any other additional. But I don't think there is. No, there isn't. No, so I think that is it. So thank you for watching my Saya Naruto playthrough. So I don't know if I've got any plans for the next game I want to play on the channel yet. I'm not 100% sure. I just need to think of a game that I really do want to play on this channel. But I'll just see. But I'll see you the next time in Nostalgia Drive. Bye!